Now, at this level, in what's called the infratemporal cortex, there are only visual images or figments or fragments. It's only at higher levels that the other senses join in and their connections with memory and emotion. And in the Charles-Bonnet syndrome, you don't go to those higher levels. You're in these levels of inferior visual cortex where you have thousands and tens of thousands and millions of images or figments or fragmentary figments, all neurally encoded in particular cells or small clusters of cells. Normally, these are all part of the integrated stream of perception or imagination, and one is not conscious of them. It is only if one is visually impaired or blind that the process is interrupted. And instead of getting normal perception, you are getting an anarchic, convulsive stimulation or release of all of these visual cells in the infratemporal cortex. So suddenly you see a face, suddenly you see a car, suddenly this, and suddenly that. The mind does its best to organize and to give some sort of coherence to this, but not terribly successfully. When these were first described, it was thought that they could be interpreted like dreams, but in fact people say, I don't recognize the people, I can't form any associations, Kermit means nothing to me.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Vamos ver a nossa atriz. Agora escute com cuidado. Que som ela está dizendo? Ela está dizendo a palavra ba, fa ou ga? Por que é tão difícil saber qual é a resposta?
Marcando varetas macias.
Você já identificou que palavra a nossa atriz está dizendo? Ga, fa ou ba? Feche seus olhos por um instante e simplesmente escute. Mantenha-os fechados. Ficou mais claro? A palavra é ba, certo? Por que foi mais fácil com seus olhos fechados? Este teste ilustra o que é chamado de efeito McGurk. Nós colocamos imagens de nossa atriz dizendo a palavra ga sobre o som dela dizendo ba. Assim como o truque da mão de borracha, o cérebro confia implicitamente no que os seus olhos estão lhe dizendo e altera seus outros sentidos para acomodar isso. O cérebro literalmente muda o que está ouvindo para ouvir uma palavra fantasma diferente de ba. Acontece que os ouvidos, assim como os olhos, não são sempre confiáveis. Estudar ilusões da fala dá um grande insight sobre como o cérebro constrói significados a partir de sons estruturados que chamamos de linguagem. A doutora Lera Boroditsky é uma professora de psicologia na Universidade de Stanford, que estuda como a linguagem molda a forma como pensamos.
A linguagem é realmente mágica porque, apenas ao criar ondas de pressão no ar,
Ao mover minha boca e expirar, eu posso colocar pensamentos muito precisos nas mentes das pessoas. Posso dizer coisas como: imagine uma zebra ovulando, andando nas costas de um rinoceronte, enquanto resolve equações diferenciais. Agora, isso é incrível, poder colocar esse pensamento na sua mente só fazendo ondas de pressão no ar.
A pesquisa de Lara tem revelado que o cérebro evoluiu para decifrar rapidamente o significado em letras e palavras, permitindo que as pessoas se comuniquem da melhor forma possível. Quer um exemplo? Tá legal. Que letra é esta? Se você disse A, está correto. Mas alguns de vocês podem ter dito H. E se você disse, você também pode estar certo. Isso depende completamente do contexto.
O que você vê são 2 caracteres que são visualmente idênticos, mas eles estão cercados em um contexto que faz um parecer com um H e um parecer com um A. O cérebro, quando encontra algo que é ambíguo, procura por outras informações para ajudar a entender qual é a solução mais provável ou plausível para o problema.
As crianças vêm dos rincões mais distantes da União Soviética e são todas surdas e cegas. Algumas enxergam um pouco e nada escutam. Algumas só enxergam sombras e só ouvem sons mais suaves. Outras, como Mansur, de 6 anos, são totalmente cegas e quase completamente surdas. Mas mesmo assim, um dia ele será capaz de falar e de escutar. Como todas as crianças aqui, ele aprenderá um tipo especial de linguagem.
Está na hora de levantar. Como você dormiu? Bem. Com que você sonhou? Estavam tocando música.
On the morning of the stroke, I woke up to a pounding pain behind my left eye. It was all very peculiar and my headache was just getting worse, so I get off the machine and I'm walking across my living room floor and I realize that everything inside of my body has slowed way down. And every step is very rigid and very deliberate. There's no fluidity to my pace, and there's this constriction in my area of perception, so I'm just focused on internal systems. And I look down at my arm, and I realize that I can no longer define the boundaries of my body. I can't define where I begin and where I end, because the atoms and the molecules of my arm blended with the atoms and molecules of the wall. And all I could detect was this energy. And I'm asking myself, what is wrong with me? What is going on? And in that moment, my brain chatter, my left hemisphere brain chatter, went totally silent. Just like someone took a remote control and pushed the mute button. Total silence. And at first I was shocked to find myself inside of a silent mind. But then I was immediately captivated by the magnificence of the energy around me. And because I could no longer identify the boundaries of my body, I felt enormous and expansive. I felt at one with all the energy that was, and it was beautiful there. And then all of a sudden, my left hemisphere comes back online, and it says to me, hey, we got a problem, we got to get some help. And I'm going, oh, I got a problem. So it's like, okay, I got a problem. But then I immediately drifted right back out into the consciousness. And I affectionately refer to this space as La La Land. I felt euphoria. Euphoria. It was beautiful there. And then again, my left hemisphere comes online and it says, hey, you've got to pay attention. We've got to get help. And I'm thinking, I got to get help. I got to focus. So I get out of the shower and I'm mechanically dressed and I'm walking around my apartment and I'm thinking, I got to get to work. I got to get to work. Can I drive? Can I drive? And in that moment, my right arm went totally paralyzed by my side. Then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm having a stroke. I'm having a stroke. And then the next thing my brain says to me is, wow, this is so cool. This is so cool. How many brain scientists have the opportunity to study their own brain from the inside out? And then it crosses my mind, but I'm a very busy woman. I don't have time for a stroke. It's like, okay, I can't stop the stroke from happening, so I'll do this for a week or two, and then I'll get back to my routine. Okay, so I got to call help. I got to call work. I couldn't remember the number at work. So I remembered in my office I had a business card with my number on it. So I go into my business room. I pull out a 3-inch stack of business cards. And I'm looking at the card on top. And even though I could see clearly in my mind's eye what my business card looked like, I couldn't tell if this was my card or not, because all I could see were pixels. And the pixels of the words blended with the pixels of the background and the pixels of the symbols, and I just couldn't tell. And then I would wait for what I call a wave of clarity. And in that moment, I would be able to reattach to normal reality. And I could tell, that's not the card, that's not the card, that's not the card. It took me 45 minutes to get 1 inch down inside of that stack of cards. In the meantime, for 45 minutes, the hemorrhage is getting bigger in my left hemisphere. I do not understand numbers. I do not understand a telephone, but it's the only plan I have. So I take the phone pad and I put it right here. I take the business card, I put it right here, and I'm matching the shape of the squiggles on the card to the shape of the squiggles on the phone pad. But then I would drift back out into La La Land and not remember if when I come back if I'd already dialed those numbers. So I had to wield my paralyzed arm like a stump and cover the numbers as I went along and push them so that as I would come back to normal reality, I'd be able to tell, yes, I've already dialed that number. Eventually, the whole number gets dialed, and I'm listening to the phone, and my colleague picks up the phone, and he says to me, and I think to myself, oh my gosh, he sounds like a golden retriever. And so I say to him, clear in my mind, I say to him, this is Jill, I need help. And what comes out of my voice is, and I think, oh my gosh, I sound like a golden retriever. So I didn't know that I couldn't speak or understand language until I tried. So he recognizes that I need help, and he gets me help.